Aiden O'Connell rushes it just a little and throws it behind. What a route by Adams.
This already. Watch as he goes inside, then he plants it, escapes to the outside or spins to the outside. Campbell tries to.
Yeah, they got two guys assigned to him. They got one at the line of scrimmage, Stephon Gilmore, and then they got a safety.
Right here, line up inside, force him to that sideline. What does that mean? Well, that means that sideline.
Joey Porter Jr. has been traveling with the #1 receiver. With no Jamar Chase, that means it's T. Higgins.
Mike McCarthy has in his top players. There's no debate. That ball's going to CeeDee Lamb. One-on-one coverage on the
connection is elite, and they're still getting to know each other. But again, when a defensive back is turned, can't see the football, you really part of why this team is hung together despite injuries and other things. And he gets inside of Sting.
Yeah, nice job here by CeeDee Lamb, just working the soft zone coverage. Now you're going to see
that he's going to run by you, and right there at the top, the way he drives at the very top of the route, that's what sells it, and that's what makes Ward think that he's got a lot of receiving categories, including yards.
Yeah, and the best thing about this is the timing. This ball is thrown.
And there you go, Andrew. This is Trey Avery, Tyler Lockett coming out underneath, and the bench route.
Battle of explosive plays. Dallas does not find themselves, Kev, having to defend a lot of downfield. Yeah, just great timing here. Watch, he's selling the inside vertical, gives a little outside stick.
He goes to Oregon as a receiver and eventually becomes a tight end, so he's got those wide receiver skills.
Can throw it a million miles down the field. But I love throwing the ball on first and second down. And mentioned Xavier Howard, he's back.
Put his foot in the ground and pivot back to the outside. Great route, great quickness in and out of his
throw. He's got the underneath throw. Instead, this opens up because Fuller bites on that crosser, and there is a perfectly thrown football.
It's about beating man-to-man coverage off. You see the little stutter step on the slant there at the top of the route.
Just by Nick Mullins. T.J. Hawkinson does a little double move out and up, gets it right.
You know the Saints are going to play in man-to-man. It's a matter of can you win, and he's shown he's got good quickness to be able to win.
You go for a low percentage throw, but with this guy today, it's not a low percentage throw. Awuzie in coverage, beautiful throw by Rudolph in this league. But teams have really gone after him the last few weeks. Watch Johnson get the other foot down. There's the right foot, left foot. Excellent work.
And they're going to hurry up and try to snap it.
As you mentioned, they're 3 for 3 on the year. Nice little move. Gets separation from Witherspoon, who's got his back turned away.
This is a great job recognizing the coverage. It was zero coverage. Khalil Dorsey on KJ. Exactly what I mean by forcing the ball to your best players. He takes no time. You know that Jefferson's going to get in the middle of the field on that
53 yards to Cooper.
And when you look back over the career of Amari Cooper, you see a lot of plays.
Since he came into the league, and where he was as a rookie in 2020 and where he is now is night and day. He's as good.
Much of a short passing game type team, but they will chunk the ball down the field, and a lot of times
on the rookie A.T. Perry, one-on-one against Kobe Durant, who's in this week for Darion Kendrick, and what a catch.
I really think Dallas Goedert, number 88, just a great route runner. Look how he turns around Xavier McKinney right there.
Taken away, and this is pretty good coverage on this slant by 27 Yadam, but what a throw. The play.
In a game by a Cleveland Brown.
And they ran it against their best cover guy who knew it was coming his way.
Yards.
Pass interference. Defense, number 37. That penalty is declined. It's over the play. Touchdown.
When you find someone on the field.
A beautiful route by Pickens. He sets up the rookie cornerback, and then this burst. I mean, he just ran away from the Bengal defenders. George Pickens has been under fire a little bit.
Justin Jefferson, he's always going to get to that spot. He's so savvy at getting there. Look how he breaks down Cam Sutton. No chance for Cam Sutton to make a play. Been calling him the best wide receiver in the NFL. Goes up over 2 defenders. Kenny, they are doubling him. The only person that can make a play for the Vikings is Justin Jefferson. Nick Mullins throws it his way, and he comes down with the 50-50 ball.
Allen's got a huge arm, but he is rolling hard to the right and tried to throw this thing all the way back across the field. It wasn't that short.
Beater out there on the edge, and you can see it right here. Just curl up, get inside.
The Chargers look great so far in this thing. Going against one of the really good ones, and Taron Johnson just fine.
Just giving some ground and trusting DK Metcalf to win on that one-step slant. He just gives a hard move to the right, cuts it inside, creates space.
A really nice job. Watch DeAndre Houston Carson 30. He sees it, stays with it, and doesn't run into the receiver.
Working on Awuzie this time.
It'll depend on that right foot. Did he keep it completely in bounds?
Sideline. He's in great position here. This is where you want to just kind of plaster the receiver. But you can't look back at the quarterback because you get lost.
See right on the tail end of it down here at the bottom of the screen. And Davis just going to lean back into him here just a little bit when he tried to reach with that arm, and it just...
If you're going to go one-on-one, you're going to throw it to Devontae Parker. Perfect throw right in the...
I don't know how he squeezes this ball in. Look at, I thought underneath.
Russ talked to us about winning those reps where he had that extra second or two in the pocket, finding something positive. A good opportunity right there.
When you got to cover somebody 53 1/3 yards wide, which is the width of the field, that's a long way to go, and he's in trail mode. Tyreek Stevenson, number 29, then slips on ice skates right there, and there goes Dortch down the sideline.
50 guy, if you're going to go down the field, put the ball up, that's the guy you want to go to. Just
the 22-yard pickup.
Yeah, just what makes CeeDee Lamb such a challenge is there's route variation. Throw, great catch, and then it's all just run after contact.
CeeDee Lamb's got...
Reed Blankenship's right here. Darius Slayton's right on the line of scrimmage. He's just running straight down. His eyes are in the backfield. He's in his back pedal. I mean, you're the deep safeties. Unfortunately, safeties don't get safety help. I mean, you're the last.
It's me or you getting this ball. And it's not a whole lot of design, right? No. It is one-on-one. This is what Jimmy Graham did forever, right? He would go down, post him up, and you throw the ball as hard as you can at him.
Both feet in. The question is, when does he have full possession? Now, that's a touchdown.
He's dragging the feet. That's going to be a touchdown.
Antonio Pierce, the head coach, coached this guy in high school, at Long Beach Poly, and at Arizona State. And boy, what a great decision to bring him.
And when you're worried about keeping your quarterback protected, you're going to send less people into the routes and keep more people back into protection. So there were only 3 receivers out on this route, and you're bringing in an offensive lineman to kind of beef up that. Cordell Flott right here in the slot. Watch, he's going to play him with heavy outside leverage, and he gets beat inside immediately. Great location by Jalen Hurts on the...
Gets his hands on him earlier, disrupts the timing, and Rice doesn't explode out, and the rate...
Because this is a really good route by Deebo Samuel on the dig route, and good protection. You see how much field there is. He just lays it.
This was a great route. The ball's behind him.
He's over the top of it, and then you're going to see Deebo Samuel, who he's looking back, and as he looks back, Purdy knows he can turn it loose.
I know that you're worried about the ability of these guys to get behind you, but right now this is a really nice game plan being called by Brian.
It's a simple clear out with a deep dig, and Mahomes looks off and moves the defenders. And this is one-on-one shot downfield, and great job by Watson keeping the level.
On the scramble drill, he's just going to have a deep curl, slam on the brakes, looking for the quarterback, and then boom. Somebody's got to go deep, somebody's got to be intermediate, and somebody's got to work for potentially a home run shot with one of those double moves, show an out and up, show a slant and go, something on the edge to get these, and then leak out as soon as he sees his quarterback exit the pocket. And he just finds a soft little zone. Beautiful.
This was an unbelievable throw. Right behind Snead, who's coming.
This was a play that was run earlier in the drive when they checked it down to Saquon Barkley. And they had Darren Waller on that same...
This little hole on the outside and put this player in conflict. Just a honey hole on the outside, 18 to 22 yards, and you got to throw that thing tight on a rope and let your guy go. Cut it off. In Fields, hypercritical of himself, will want that outside.
March down the field. They've got this handled, but because of Ayuk and his ability to make.
But you're just going to get a quick little out route, and if anything, this is just late to Cole Kmet.
Brown comes into.
So Brown had just one catch in the first half.
Be 33-25 right now, and Darren Waller would make his first catch with 37 seconds to go. Let's take a look at the defense. You watch 91. He's going to kind of bring the pressure, then he sees the ball, turn and run. It's a great effort right there. Xavier McKinney.
This is a guy, part of his value has been obviously.
Well, it's interesting. Much more important, right? You watch DeAndre Hopkins, he thinks they're going to clock it.
Correct.
Instead, they run a play.
The receiver here gets out of bounds, but he's not going forward. The rule in this league is that you have to be at least making an attempt to go forward. That's a
season.
That was an unbelievable catch and throw. Cooks, who's not a big guy, he's only 5'10".
Times this just perfectly to break up this pass. Well thrown ball by Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, just look at the cushion. The speed that Tyreek Hill threatens you with just puts the...
Being smart with the football, and Hunter Henry has been their main guy down in the red zone. He's out. Let's go find your other tight end. Great throw over the top.
Good timing on the back shoulder throw. Really working his way to...
Sean Payton was talking about it. You see the shallow route by Jerry Jeudy, and they were talking about practicing it all week, and sometimes the Patriots will drop guys the line of scrimmage, and then he gives his young receiver an opportunity to go one-on-one. Buy a little extra time. He throws so well on the run, and just put it up high for your big tight end. Tight end, keep yourself between man and ball. Go up and high point it.
So Evans on the outside just running a skinny post. With the out route here, you're going to see the defense stays low, so it's one-on-one. So if you're Mayfield, you're just trying to stare at the middle safety, Cisco, to keep him.
Here by Bailey Zappi. He reads that corner, who's squeezing down on the choice route underneath it. This is what we call a hole shot.
But now it's 3rd and goal.
Yeah, this will be a great shot. It's a great shot. Let's see, does he stick the first foot? No. Does a great job dragging the number 2 foot. He knows he's going to take a shot, but he needs to hold it that extra click.
The throw, the leap, but look at his ball placement. Outside, on time, really good coverage. Then
look at the cushion. It's a 12-yard cushion Stephon Gilmore gives him.
Well, just hitting that soft spot in the zone, and that you have to have protection. You have to have time.
1st and goal.
Durham on an out and up with the wheel route to the sideline, and excellent throw by Mayfield. Good adjustment by him.
Something for us to talk about and point out. Dallas is traditionally a man coverage team. They just knew this week. We'll cover it when we get back from.
Well, once again, they show interior pressure. They bring it off the edge, drop out in the middle, so there's no...
Dropped the pass last week, gets one right there. 1st down, Jacksonville.
We see the inside receiver clears out the middle and allows that dig.
The chains.
One of the highest blitzing defenses in the NFL. They brought 2 of the linebackers.
It looked like the right foot was on the ground, but I'm not sure he was able to drag.
I don't know.
He might have been able to drag that. You're going to put one of these long drives together. You got to get these chunk plays right here, and it's just eating up zone coverage. Right. Running a deep curl pattern in that void in the defense. What I like to do is go into this play action and try and isolate receivers here around the numbers, over the middle of the field, and Ryan Tannehill's done a good job of that throughout his career.
Jared Goff do a phenomenal job converting on the 4th downs when they needed to. And that's surprising.
The field on this one. Sitting in that zone coverage, and Quay Walker.
Chark. 1.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, if he controls that thing all the way. And Young probably a little bit late with that throw because Eric Stokes was there, but he leads Thielen. Wow. Alexander gets his right hand, so Thielen only has an opportunity to catch it with his left.
What a one-handed grab, and Alexander.
Just a timing play and good timing by Davis Mills.
Watch the adjustment that he makes. This ball is thrown to the inside, actually towards the safety from Bryce Young. And you see that those defenders have that inside leverage. That's going to give you an opportunity. You send one of those guys vertical, Dobbs, his way all the way across the field. And it's right.
Yeah, he's going to be just short.
Easy what happens when you start forcing the ball to the best wide receiver in the NFL. He recognizes his scramble, and then Nick Mullins smartly just throws it over to the sideline. He's like, Justin.
And DJ Reed, and another guy that really has had a terrific season is Michael Carter. He plays this
where he was an all-pro, Pro Bowl player. He was taking one pick after Derek Stingley. That was the big debate. Look at the safeties. So the middle zone is open for him, right? Split safeties. And Njoku running that stick nod, meaning looking to the outside, then cutting back to the inside. And he throws it right over the linebacker Perryman and to the opposite side of the safety.
Donovan Peoples-Jones runs this route, cuts it very flat, doesn't allow the corner to cross his face.
And this is where you have to win those contested catches as a receiver, but that's really good. And look at Muse's body to ward him off as well. Both feet down at the time as he catches it. Again, body.
Now you're going to watch. Inside man is Jordan Addison. So Nick Mullins just assumes everyone's going to be locked in on Justin Jefferson. Well, Kirby Joseph, he's understanding.
It's going to be a nice quick slant here. You got to know where your answers are when they bring that pressure. And Amir Smith-Marset just going to work his way. And it's the anticipation. And it's just a nice throw.
Wilson onto the field, unable to make what would have been a tough catch here in the crosser.
Yeah, really good coverage on the slant route.
Sism nearly came down with it.
Yeah, and really, Fuller has been the most solid defensive back here in this second.
4th and 5, the last drive. He's running a little out route to the side. Porter's in deep coverage. It's zone coverage.
41-yard line.
Yeah, he caught the ball on this crossing route, but watch him scramble as it just gets popped loose. And you talk about a big flood route on that opposite side. You see that pressure, but 3 guys, 1 flat, just dropping right back in here. And you could see him come across. Look at him explode on the ball. And that's underneath coverage. You're exposing that. You put Drake London down there. Create that opportunity to get it over the top. Just, you want to talk about contested catches, right? Woo. Strong hands.
Move the quarterback around and roll him to the left, and so Johnson comes back on the backside of that.
Like he's going shallow, and then he's going to whip this thing back out, create that opportunity. You see the picks down the field a little bit.
Here's Porter, but as this route comes in, he's going to turn him loose to an inside defender. And you can see the inside linebacker, Mykal Walker, number 38, got all twisted around. Again, no Landon Roberts on the inside. Blitzer and a run defender. But if you get him in man coverage, he can struggle a little bit. And Deontay Johnson ran.
And having a chance to play again with Matthew Stafford. One-on-one against Taylor. Nobody in the NFL throws that out cut.
At that catch point, and that ball was just perfectly thrown. And once he makes the catch, these defensive backs aren't that big. They aren't as big as he is. And he can really... There's the explosion right there. You're just going to get a takeoff route on the outside out here as the scramble drill starts. And Josh Allen, who can quote a mile even with that bad shoulder, gave forever like he was going to run it. And he drew the guy to him. But look at the shot by Rasul Douglas. Gerald Everett's a big man.
Tough ask. Look at the depth that Howden has. He's about 8 or 10 yards deep against Cooper Kupp. Gives him that beautiful inside move, but there's